right, just like your favorite team, sometimes we got to hit the road, but we're back for another podcast.
Yes, thank God. After 2 or 3 weeks, maybe.
Been 3 weeks since you've been on. I did one solo, just a little, memorial piece for Jim Brown in a sense and hitting some other topics.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Rest in peace, Jim Brown.
yeah, it was definitely, I know people that I called that are like good family friends of ours, like older family friends, and they were actually in tears over it. So, it's different when that person was the reason you guys were so successful for a team in your city and you win so many championships.
A loyal Browns fan.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We're going to be the same way once, the time comes for LeBron and stuff. So we'll see what happens. But so we got a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff to talk about. We missed a whole week. A lot of stuff there. And then this weekend's been another whole crazy atmosphere as well. I did talk about it by myself for a minute. Heat almost blew a 3-0 lead, but we're going to get into that in a little bit. We're going to start off actually with some really good breaking news for the NFL. DeAndre Hopkins is released by the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes.
A lot of odds on where he's going to end up. One of the odds that I seen the most of was DraftKings Sportsbook. They have where will he play this year. Do you want to take a guess at who the top 3 favorites are to pick him as of today, which would be June 5th?
Well, I know that I saw in yesterday.
Yes.
Cleveland Browns are the favorites after the talk with Deshaun Watson was talking to the media.
Yep.
So the Browns are the first, especially with the chemistry he had with Watson before.
Yep.
And, why he was so successful with Houston. I think the second one will be, the champions, Kansas City. I think maybe it's a possibility. Or maybe the Bills.
You would be wrong on both of those occasions.
Bills or maybe Detroit Lions also.
Lions are number 2.
Okay, so Lions is, they need a wide receiver so far. So Buffalo Bills, I think, will be another one.
There'll be 3, yep. So what do you think is 4?
Kansas City
that would
be the
correct.
4. And maybe the Ravens will be the other one.
So I think Ravens are actually 6.
I don't know why the Ravens are looking for a wide receiver.
My question is, okay, so here's the deal. We all know the Ravens have had issues with money. Okay, the last couple of years they've had issues with money. Can they afford DeAndre Hopkins?
No.
Unless DeAndre Hopkins is doing a buy-in 1 year, see what happens deal, you're not getting him.
No.
It's not happening.
No.
There are 2 teams that have opened up a good amount of cap space after June 1st, and that was the Dallas Cowboys and the Cleveland Browns. So we'll see what happens with it. I mean, they both opened up an extra $10 million.
So how much he asking for right now?
That I don't know. He said his biggest factors as of now are he wants to win a title and also the money.
Okay.
So wherever his best chances are to win a title and get money, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's what I think he's going to end up doing. But like I was saying, running through these odds like we just ran through, the Browns are favorited. At some point in the weekend, they were actually minus 120, I believe, was the highest they've ever been. That means that they're almost like guaranteed to get them. That changed today to plus 125.
So the Browns right now?
Yes, so they still have the best odds over the Lions, who are plus 380.
Wow.
Bills are plus 550. Now, I did see a couple reports from Bills beat reporters where they stated the Bills are not really interested in it at this point. They like Stephon Diggs. They like Gabriel Davis. They like the guys that they have. McKenzie's been good for them.
With the chemistry they have.
They have the chemistry. Why would you? And they have so many weapons. Dawson Knox, had a good year last year as well.
Tight end, yeah.
So they have.
There's
they
a tight
have.
End, correct? Knox?
Yeah. Knox is a tight end, and they've all had good years. So when you look at that, I don't understand why the Bills would even be in the top 3, unless if for whatever reason they think that they need him just to go that next level. I don't know, but. Kansas City is for plus 750. Patriots are plus 1,200, and then the Ravens are plus 1,600.
I don't know why the Ravens in the category.
Now here's the funny thing. I'm looking at this a little bit more because obviously they're going to put every team out there. The Ravens and the Houston Texans have the same odds.
Huh?
Yeah. The team that traded him away originally has the same odds as the Ravens. So if that doesn't say, hey, Ravens, you're not getting him, it looks like the Ravens aren't getting him.
He's never from a serious drought right now. It's just like, we'll see.
So, I mean, for you, where would you honestly put DeAndre Hopkins? I know the whole reunion thing in Cleveland. Does it fit, though? That's the question.
It fits.
It does. To me, it does.
You have Amari Cooper on one side and then DeAndre Hopkins. I know he's 30 years old.
Yeah,
he's 30. I think he got something in there for him. I think the injury, it was like couple of years ago he got a ankle injury, I think.
Yeah, he's been hurt for a while now. There are some issues with him.
I think by the way, the Browns need a wide receiver, at least one.
Correct.
At least one. So I think this will be the best option for the Browns to sign him. It will work. We don't know, but I think that with DeAndre Hopkins, I think that we'll get the chemistry that Watson needs at this point. And I heard, the Watson, he was training in Puerto Rico. What I heard, he just bring the team over there with the offense. I think they work it out together over there.
Correct. They were somewhere on a beach. I did see a couple things like that.
We'll see.
So I get what you're saying. So again, when we look at Hopkins' stats here, I mean, he's been in the league since 2013. Mm-hmm. He's going on year 10. Okay. Am I correct on that? That would be. No, he's going on year 11. Excuse me. So he's going on year 11. He is up there in age. If you look at this, his last 3 years that he played in Arizona, he played 16 games in week 1, or for the first season for Arizona. He played 16 games every game in the NFL season, because remember, they bumped it up to 17 now. He's played 16 games in 5 out of the 7 seasons with Houston.
How many touchdowns he has so far with Arizona? Total?
Well, real quick. So running back with this, let me just hit this point. Okay. I want to make sure I get this through. So in basically 16 game seasons, because they just changed it recently, he's played every single game in the season for Houston except for 2 times. First year in Arizona, 2020 COVID year, he had 16 as well. He played the whole season. 2021, they added that extra game. He only played 10 games that year, and last year he played 9, so he's decreasing. Now, that being said, Arizona did not have the receiving core that you would expect from other teams. Yeah. So, if you want to know Arizona's touchdowns, in the first year with Arizona, he had 6. Next year, he had 8, and that was in 10 games. So, in 16 games, he had 6 touchdowns. In 10 games, he had 8 touchdowns. In 9 games, he only had 3. Kyler Murray was hurt for most of the year as well when he came back, because there was an issue with them not being matched up there. So what's going to happen now is, for me, it's going to come down to where does DeAndre Hopkins go to get a good chunk of money, has a chance to win a championship, and not only that, where can he play 70 to 80% of the snaps? Because he does not need to play all these snaps. He's just going to get hurt doing it that way. So if I'm him, I'm trying to find a place like Cleveland and maybe even Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo,
because the reason I bring up Buffalo is, with all those weapons you have, you can line DeAndre Hopkins out there one play with Stephon Diggs. And if you want to switch it up and get one of them a breather, you can put the Gabriel Davis. You can put McKenzie in there, Isaiah McKenzie. You can put Dawson Knox as another guy. So they do have that chance.
McKenzie's good, man.
He showed it in the playoffs last year. He did. So when you talk about that, I mean, the same thing could go for Cleveland. You have Amari Cooper and DeAndre Hopkins line up, right? Same thing with Amari. He's getting up there in age. You kind of want to make sure that he's good. He just had a huge surgery for, I believe, his hip.
Yeah.
Or his core. I mean, you want to make sure these guys only play so many. So you could swap these guys out, have one on the field at one point, play both in one snap. Because not only that, Cleveland has Amari Cooper. They have Elijah Moore, who they just traded for. And from what I see report-wise, NFL-wise, Moore and Watson are already connecting.
Yeah, that's what
they're connecting big time. And they didn't play at all, ever. So to have him there, 6 games with Amari Cooper, obviously you want more tempo with that. That'll come when training camp hits. And if you can add Hopkins, that's another thing. And a lot of people forget, too, they still have Donovan Peoples-Jones, who could have had a better year. He was close to breaking 1,000 yards.
But the defense got better.
And the defense, on paper, they did. We'll see what happens when they hit the field. That's the biggest thing that the Browns always have an issue with.
And they got the Eagles coordinator defense, one of the best.
Yes, Jim Schwartz.
So, we'll see.
He did win a Super Bowl with the Eagles, too, as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, we're back
when they beat Brady in them.
Brady.
Yeah. So, I mean, he has experience in the Super Bowl. He knows how to win. He knows how to get the job done. So, we'll see. But we're going to move on from DeAndre Hopkins now. We're obviously going to keep an eye on that. We're expected to have news tomorrow. This will drop Wednesday.
So, there are no more visits?
The rumor is that he's picking a team tomorrow, which would be June 6th. Okay, today's June 5th. This will drop June 7th on Wednesday. Okay. So when we find that out, we'll probably end up tweeting about it first, and then we'll
talk about it. Yeah,
we're giving you the breakdown now. So once that happens, you can see where we kind of predicted him to be and what we thought on it. We'll see what it ends up being. I mean, real quick, give me your prediction. What team does he go to?
I think Cleveland. I think the chemistry because Watson, and also he's 30 years old. He's a best friend with Watson. So, and Watson even talking about the media.
Yeah,
I want him.
He talked him
I
up
want
a lot.
him. Like he said, I don't know what the front office we're going to do, but I will be happy to have him here. So with that commitment that he wants him here, I think he's ending in Cleveland.
I would like to see him in Cleveland just because of the connection. Like you said, Cleveland would obviously love to have another receiver. I honestly don't see him coming here, though. I think it's going to come down to money, and I think the two teams that have the best chance of offering money is Buffalo and the Chiefs.
Okay.
For me, coming off of their Super Bowl high, I think it's going to be the Chiefs for me. I think he's surprised. I think he just goes there. A lot of people aren't expecting that, in my opinion. I think they're expecting.
They lost a wide receiver.
Yeah,
from the Steelers when they made
Juju Smith-Schuster. Yeah. So I mean, and they could go. They have Kenny Galladay as well, or Kenny Galladay. Excuse me. Kadarius Toney. They traded for him. So he looks like he's going to be a big part of their offense. But that's going to be my prediction. I think Chiefs. I would like to see him in Cleveland. If not Cleveland, maybe Detroit because they are in the up-and-coming and they offer good receivers with Amon St. Brown.
Yeah.
So, but, all right, we got our prediction there. You think Browns, I think Chiefs.
Yeah,
obviously, I hope it's Cleveland. But, all right, moving on now. NBA. We now have our matchup. We predicted it.
What a game.
You want to start with game 1 or game 2?
Wow, we get game 1. It was, we knew about it. I didn't expect game 2 will be catastrophic, back and forth. The Miami Heat was winning by 9 or 10 points in the first quarter,
and then Jokic
in
the third
came back and winning by 15. The freaking turnovers by Denver.
That'll do it.
The fourth quarter, Jimmy Butler, and also I forgot the shooter from I forgot his name, but Robinson from Miami Heat. Oh my God, and Vincent, that's another one.
So yeah, they played good off the Robinson played good off the bench in game 2, and when you look at this, we're just gonna bounce back to game 1. Denver won game 1, 104-93. They won by 11 points. Okay, that being said. Butler only scored 13. You can't have that and win games.
Exactly.
Bam Adebayo has been unbelievable so far in the finals. He's not a guy who usually scores 20 points. He scored 26 game 1 on top of 13 rebounds and 5 assists.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Well, you see Jokic yesterday, the reason why they lost to 4 assists.
Well, yeah, that's going to come down to shooting. But real quick on game 1.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So on game 1, you had Butler scored 13. Bam Adebayo scored 26. He had 13 rebounds. 19 from Vincent. Like you said, Vincent, he had 19. Kyle Lowry, 11 off the bench. And Highsmith, 18 off the bench. But again, game 1, what was their biggest reason? Strus didn't score anything. Duncan didn't do anything. And Jimmy Butler didn't do what he's supposed to do.
So yeah.
But game 1 for the Nuggets, 27 from Jokic, 26 from Murray, 10 from Brown. You had 16 from Aaron Gordon. He's not a guy you would expect to score right now. And then 14 from Porter. So their shooters were shooting. And that's the reason they won that. Again, like you stated, we're going to go off the 4 assists. He had 14 assists game 1.
Yeah.
And you could tell by the points. Looking at that, you have the points there. And who scored what? Too. He had a triple-double. 10 rebounds, 14 assists, and 27 points. He played 40 minutes. When you look at that and you see where the scoring was, perfect. Now compare that to game 2 here. Game 2, Butler, 21. Adebayo, 21. Vincent, 23. Strus, 14. He had 0 first game. He had 14 the next. Duncan had 3 the first game. He had 10 the next. Lowry had 9. He stayed about the same. When you look at that, that's a big factor. And then, like you said, 4 assists from Jokic. He had 41 points, 11 rebounds, but 4 assists. That 4 assists correlates. Gordon had 12 points. 5 points from Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
He had an off night. He couldn't hit anything.
Nothing.
He was shooting bricks more than what Russell Westbrook.
And the turnovers, that's what was going on. The whole team is like 15 turnovers. So you cannot win in games like that.
No. And I mean, Brown put up 10 or 11 again. He put up over 10, which is good. But Jamal Murray had 18. And Jamal Murray had 10 assists. So Murray's assist pretty much came from Jokic or, at this point, Eric Gordon.
I think the bench was that let him down.
Big time.
They let him down the bench.
Big time.
Yeah, it's just cannot win games like that. The turnovers was crazy. It was like 3 back-to-back turnovers, and Miami he just took advantage of those turnovers.
If you play sloppy with Miami, it's not gonna.
They
work.
lost by 3 points with that 15 turnovers.
And that's the scary part too, because people don't realize that. They're like, "Oh, what happened to Denver?" Or Denver fell apart. Denver lost by 1 shot.
By 1 position, yeah.
And they had a chance to tie it, and they missed it.
So just
Jamal Murray. So that's the biggest thing.
You have to play like you did yesterday.
Yeah, if Miami has to play this way. Now, Miami is a tough opponent at home. They're a very tough opponent at home. Denver's another animal.
Yeah.
And I do like Eric Spoelstra with his comment. He goes, we talk about, all this altitude in Denver and that. And he goes, we'll tip off at the top of Mount Everest. He's like, if we want to talk about that, I mean, we could turn the AC off in the arena and make it play in 90-degree weather. I'm like, that's not going to happen. But I see what it was, because that's all Miami heard the whole lead up with it was, you got to play in high altitude. You got to play in high altitude. By the way, I just came from Denver. That's where I went on vacation. To me, somebody who has asthma, I had no problem with it.
Yeah.
But again, I did hiking. I didn't run for 48 minutes.
Yeah.
But for some NBA player like that, I don't think that was a major factor for them.
No.
The first quarter, like they said, that's a major difference. I would say Miami, looking at that game, I said the first half of that quarter is when they struggled. Other than that, they were fine.
Well, with that score, I see
they got adjusted.
Denver, I keep Denver win this series, because there's no way 15 turnovers. You see that score?
Yeah, 15 turnovers.
15 turnovers,
and they only lost by 3, not a blowout, by 3.
And by the way, the bench didn't show up.
No, for Denver.
So Jokic, let me tell you something. Murray and Jokic will take this game 3.
So here's the crazy thing. You want to break it down? You said 15. You were close. It was 13. Miami had 11. And they only won the game by 3. That's scary. The other thing is Denver allowed 48 points in the paint, or had 48 points in the paint compared to 34.
How many 3-point shots they missed?
So 3-pointers, Denver shot 39.3%. They were 11 from 28 from 3 in game 2. Miami was 17 of 35. They shot 48.6%.
That's the key.
And Miami's not a 3-point shooting team, but when they get them to land, it's a whole nother ball game.
That's the reason why they won, too.
And that's another thing. Looking at this as well, 18 of 20 from free throws for Miami, 90%. 19 of 22, 86.4% from free throw for Denver. And then you look at the field goal percentage, Denver shot 52% from the field, Miami 48.7%. And Miami took 3 more shots and missed 1 less.
The reason why the turnovers was the key for Miami Heat to beat them, because every time there was a turnover, Miami Heat made a shot.
That and the 3-pointers. The fact that they couldn't guard the 3-pointer, it looks like in this game.
And it was a pace. It was a pace shooting.
So that was game 2 that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Now, if you compare those stats to game 2, we're already looking to game 3 at this point. Miami only had 2 free throws.
Yeah,
2 free throw attempts.
I was talking about that, 2 free throws.
The lowest in NBA Finals history.
Yeah.
So you had that have an issue. You went from 18, there were only 2 free throw shot attempts, to 20 attempts, and you hit 18. That's a big factor right there.
Yeah.
Then you look at it again here, 3-point shooting. They outshot Denver. They shot 33.3%, Denver 29.6%. Miami went 13 of 39, Denver went 8 of 27. That's a big factor right there.
But overall, the shooting, 50.6 to 40.6. That's a big jump right there. That's a major jump compared to game 2, where it was 4% off versus 10. I still see Denver,
the turnovers were about the same too. 10 turnovers to 8 turnovers.
Well, the key is how many shots made Miami Heat for turnovers Denver Nuggets did.
Correct, and that's the thing. Denver, I expect Denver to continue dominating in the paint.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna do that. Everyone, I seen a tweet earlier today from Skip Bayless, and it completely pissed me off.
Skip Bayless, yeah.
He said, "Why are we glorifying Jokic basically for hitting circus shots? He just got lucky. Jokic puts up shots like that all the time.
2 times MVP.
Two-time.
Two times.
Should have been
Three
3
times.
Should have been a 3-peat.
But
100%
they don't want to do it. And you say he got lucky. Skip Bayless. That's the reason why Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, Shannon
left
Sharp's
you.
gone. Yeah.
Because you don't know anything.
So to put that in
You're
perspective,
just a bandwagon fan.
and and by no means am I doing this disrespectfully to Steph Curry. How many times have you seen Steph Curry just heave one up and make it? Or do like an underhand, just whip it up in the air and he just lands it no problem?
No.
That's not. Those are, to me, those are more circus shots than what Jokic is putting in. The only difference is Curry's a point guard making shots he should make.
Jokic is a power forward.
Or a center. Yeah.
Or center.
Yeah.
And he made these points. And he's a 2-time MVP.
And he doesn't jump.
No.
He doesn't have to jump. That's the scary part.
And it's a lot of contested shot. Then Steph Curry.
Yeah. Curry runs off the pick and roll, and he can still hit consistent shots. But, I mean,
Skip Bayless, you don't
that's
know anything
just ridiculous.
That's the reason why Shannon Sharp left you, man. I can't stand him either, Skip Bayless. So, let's hope about... it was a good game yesterday. It pissed me off at the turnovers, like back-to-back turnovers.
Yeah.
But Denver needs to get better. I think it's a lesson. They thought they will be easy. We will beat them. Well, Miami Heat is tough. That defense of Miami Heat is freaking tough.
Yeah. And they're going to continue to be tough. It's going to be a big thing here. I don't know what's going to happen.
Miami Heat got the advantage right now.
Yeah, they do. They do. They have home court advantage. Now, you did say Denver in 5. You still sticking with that?
Yeah.
Okay. That means Denver's sweeping them the rest of the way. They're taking the next
3 games, yeah.
I did say 6 because I think they will take one from Miami, and they will come back with home court advantage. They'll win in game 6 in Miami, though. I do think that's
still tough
possible
for Denver right now because they have to win 2 games in Miami.
For you, they have to win the next 3.
Yeah, 2 games in
Miami.
And come back
for me, they can win at least 1 in Miami, 1 at home, and then go back in game 6 and win it. So we'll see what happens there.
Game 7?
I don't. I want it to end in 6. Because if it goes to game 7, honestly, I think Miami's winning it. My prediction was Denver. Your prediction was Denver. We put that out on Twitter. By the way, go follow us there. I'm going to drop the link right now. Make sure you follow our personal ones or the inside the stadium one. That is the one for the podcast. Again, we're trying to be active on there as much as possible. We obviously do have our normal jobs. We have other stuff that happens. So sometimes we're not very active. Also, make sure you guys like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where we're dropping it. You'll hear it obviously here on YouTube. But what we'll do is we drop it. Make sure that you guys know that notifications are turned on for Twitter. This way, when we do put it out there, you'll get the notification saying, "Hey, we tweeted. Here's the new episode." But every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you guys look out for that. We're back on it.
Yeah.
Hopefully every week until
every
something
week we
comes
try
up.
to do something.
So anything else you want to talk about NBA wise before we move on?
By the way.
Okay, it sounds like there is something. Go ahead.
Kyrie Irving.
Yes.
Just tweet today.
Oh boy.
He's recruiting LeBron James
to go to Dallas.
To go to Dallas.
And Twitter was clowning them for it.
And then Draymond Green. There's rumors about Draymond Green joining Dallas.
That ain't happening.
It's not gonna happen.
LeBron and Draymond on the same team is like putting fire on gasoline on fire. It's not working.
It's not gonna work. It's not.
They're gonna kick each other in the nuts in practice. Or is LeBron gonna look at him and he's gonna try to punch Draymond?
LeBron's staying in the Lakers, guys. He's not going anywhere.
I don't know about that.
He's staying in the Lakers.
I don't know about that.
Well, he's going. Don't tell me Miami Heat.
No. Some of the teams that I've seen are favorited, and I've seen this. Now this is
the New York Knicks.
The New York Knicks was one. They do need a wing. That was one play. That was one team I seen. The other one was the Clippers. He goes from L.A. Lakers to L.A. Clippers. Can you imagine him, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard?
Oh.
He finally gets the help he needed.
Yeah.
If they can stay healthy.
If they can get chemistry.
If they can stay healthy. Yeah. I mean, think about how many All-Star games they've played together where those two were drafted by LeBron together. Right. So I'm sure they got some chemistry going. And then the other thing is I seen, and this is a by God long shot because I don't think that they want him here, is they said Cleveland is another option. I don't think he's coming back to Cleveland.
No. Cleveland doesn't have the money to.
Cleveland could clear the money out, and they could spend it.
But they don't want
But
to.
the problem is LeBron likes to play le GM, and they want to do this whole, hey, trade this guy away and get this guy. No, we're not giving away guys like Mobley and Garland for.
Dan Gilbert gave the key to
LeBron.
The front office.
Yep.
The front office wants to do what's best, and LeBron James is not in the picture.
Yeah.
So just FYI, he's not coming to Cleveland. And I will give it 0.01% that he comes back to Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't believe he does either.
Yeah, he's staying in LA. He's staying the West Coast. He's not coming to the East. But we'll see, because you never know in the NBA.
Surprises happen all the time.
Yeah. Anything you going to add? Do you see any rumors about free agency?
Not that I've seen any. I haven't seen anything yet. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not much more to talk about at this point with NBA.
Nah,
so
we can move forward now.
Yep, we're gonna go on to a little MLB update. Your Yankees have went from last place to third place. They are starting to pick it back up. Obviously, Aaron Judge is a big factor. That Orioles health as well. Yep. So the Blue Jays are on a downslide. They finally picked it up by sweeping the Mets this past weekend. So we'll see what happens there.
Mets, come on, man. The Mets are freaking struggling from the beginning.
We're getting to that part of it. That's for sure. Cleveland, my team, has bounced back into second place. They are pretty much the same amount of games back, 3.5 back on the Twins. White Sox are 5.5, and the Royals have just plummeted. I didn't expect this, because I remember my predictions. I put Tigers under Royals, and the Royals have just been a god awful disappointment.
Oh my God, awful.
And honestly, a lot of people said, "Hey, the AL East is the best division." Can we give a round of applause for the AL West right now? I mean, come on, that is just beautiful.
Oh my God. AL West. I'm sorry.
AL West. Yeah, you're a little far there. We're getting there. We're getting there.
The Rangers. Oh my God, I think it's the best offense right now. The Rangers right now.
I was watching MLB Central earlier today, and they put a little graphic up on there. They were talking about it. The top 6 run differentials for the first 58 games were I think it was a 2027 or 1927, excuse me. I'm like in the future apparently. Mm-hmm. The 1927 Oakland A's. You had 3 Yankee teams, another Oakland A's team, and sitting in 4th with the best differential was the Rangers from 2023. Those are the best differentials, and here's the difference between the Rangers and all the other 5 teams. All the other 5 teams went on to win the World Series that year.
Oh my God!
Could this be the year of the Rangers? Yeah. This would be the quickest turnaround I think of any franchise. I think
the Rangers deserve it after they,
I mean, that's to me that's the biggest turnaround, because they were competitive 4 years ago.
No, they competitive it was in 2011.
No, they competed in 16. They competed in 17, I believe.
Yeah, but they are contenders, very big contenders in like 2012, something like that.
Right. Okay. So was it 6 years? Then it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
Most teams take a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Yankees still hold it for 3 or 4 years, where they turned it around from no wild card, no playoffs to now in the wild card and in the playoffs consistently. Yeah. So Yankees might have that record still with the quickest turnaround.
So we'll see what the Yankees gonna do, because they have a health issue problem. But hey, they keep fighting. They're in 3rd place,
and that's all you got to do for right now. Like you said, Rangers are having an amazing season so far. They're killing it start-wise. Astros are 3.5 back, and they've been sliding a little bit here and there. They're on and off. But, man, when they got Jose Altuve back, they just came straight for the throat. Yeah, they won 9 out of the last 10 when he came back. Now they're struggling.
Went back to the IL, I think.
I did not see that. I didn't hear anything about that. I think they might have just rested him a couple days. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. Angels are obviously, they're sliding a little bit, not too far back.
I expect that. I even told you about it.
I know you expected that, but for me, I mean, Ohtani and Trout,
Ohtani's leaving.
Well, we're not there yet. They were still halfway through the season.
He's gone.
Well, we'll talk about that in our off-season podcast.
No, I know, but I'm just telling you right now. Today, June 5th.
You think he's gone?
He's gone.
What if I hit you with this real quick?
He's gone.
No. Just bear with me. What if they trade Mike Trout?
What?
To Philly.
Oh, no, it's not going to happen.
Hold on. Let him go play with Bryce Harper, his childhood friend. Let him go play with Bryce Harper. Let him go over there, go in his hometown. He already has season tickets for the Eagles anyhow. He loves the Eagles so much that might as well send him to his state where he came from.
Well, they have to make the decisions in the trade deadline.
But then they could sign Ohtani. Where do you think they get most of their money from right now, Trout or Ohtani? A lot of their money comes from Ohtani.
But they have to make a trade. I don't know what they're going to do.
It won't be this year. It'll be next year.
By the way, he's gone. If he don't make that trade,
one of the two are gone. One of the two are gone.
Yeah,
you
'cause
can't
there's-
have both.
exactly.
And if they do find a way to have both, oh my God, the Angels need to win a World Series then. If they can somehow make Trout and Ohtani long-term teammates for the next 5 or 6 years, they better win a damn World
Yes.
Series. They better win a damn World Series.
Yeah, I don't get it how these Angels continue every year
The pitching.
playing hot. Yeah, playing hot, and then
I know how you can fix that.
how?
Well, multiple MLB executives believe that somebody on Cleveland's team would get traded. None other than Shane
Bieber.
There you go. Could he be traded to the Angels?
If the Cleveland doesn't get their things together, he's gone.
It's not even Cleveland getting their things together. Think about how good the rookies are that they've been calling up.
No, I know, I get it, but I'm saying they don't want to. If they for some reason they're competing, just hear me out.
He's gone.
If they get to the AL Central top, if they're getting together before the trade deadline, they're not gonna trade him.
Yeah, they will.
But if they continue the way they're playing right now, he's gone. And he's gone this year.
Shane Bieber's posting a little bit over a 3 ERA.
Damn.
He's not staying here. You have, so for me being a diehard Cleveland fan, right? That's for me. You have Logan Allen who's come up and is pitching about a 2 or lower ERA. He's having a phenomenal start. Tanner Bybee, the same thing. Then you also have Savali who just came back. They just DFA'd Zach Plesac. He's gone.
Oh, yeah, he's gone yesterday. Yeah.
Tristan McKenzie just came back like he never left. 10 strikeouts, no runs. And I think 2 hits is what he gave up. And I think 1 walk. He had 10 Ks in his first strikeout.
So what teams he's going?
Well, that's what we're going to get to in a minute. But for Cleveland, they also have 2 young prospects coming up. One of which they drafted, Gavin Williams, who's like, he's ready to come up today.
Oh, yeah?
If they wanted to call him up, he could. He struck out the side in the first inning again. In AAA, he had 3 starts in AA. Came up, he's had 5 starts in AAA right now. He's dominating. I think on the year he's still under a 1 ERA. It's absolutely crazy. And then Joey Cantillo, who is a part of the trade with the Padres that got us Gabriel Arias, Josh Naylor, and all those other players. Quantrill, Clevenger, and or I think it's also a part of the Trevor Bauer trade as well back in the day. I think we got a couple pieces from that.
Cincinnati with the
that when we got Framil Reyes as well. So for those trades that happen, he's the last piece that hasn't been called up yet. And he's in AAA as well right now. So you have 2 guys that could potentially make it a 6-man starting rotation.
And Shane Bieber will be gone.
And you can get rid of Shane Bieber. 3 teams that I think he can go to. One we already discussed is the Angels. Possibility.
They need it.
They're going to have to give up prospects, and that's fine. They're going to have to give up somebody.
Yeah.
The other thing is, and this is the one I honestly would like to see him go to, is I would like to see him go to the Baltimore Orioles. For your sake as a Yankee fan, you probably don't want to see that happen because he's got to face Judge and Stan.
You know what will be another team? I hate the Red Sox.
I don't think they have anybody to give up, though.
But I'm just saying Red Sox needs a freaking pitch. Oh, my God. I saw a game yesterday. I don't know. You can go to replay.
I'll have to look it up.
I think it was a bunt. The catcher threw him away. I don't know.
Threw it away. Oh, no. You're talking about when it was a base hit. They threw it in at home. He threw it to second, and it went all the way in the outfield past the center fielder, past the right fielder. Yeah, it was Yanni Diaz. He scored all the way from there. It was a little league inside the park, but with 2 errors. Yep, I seen it.
Oh, my God. Horrible. By the way, they need pitcher. Starting pitcher.
They do. Now, let me shoot you this real quick because you know a lot about the AL East, and I know a little bit about it. So, the Baltimore Orioles, they already have a lot of outfielders. And Cleveland needs an outfielder. So could you potentially see a trade where you trade Shane Bieber and maybe at this point they've called up and down Brian Rocchio so many times, a studded shortstop prospect, or maybe Ahmed Rosario because they're talking about wanting to get rid of him. You could trade those two. And go get Austin Hayes and maybe 2 prospects. Maybe a AA and a single A guy. There's rumors about one of their outfield prospects and one of their second base prospects.
I don't think Hayes will be traded.
But why not? Because they also have Cedric Mullins, right?
Yeah.
And they have Anthony Santan there.
Yeah.
So could they get rid of Hayes and just deal with somebody in the outfield? I think so.
They in order to trade Shane Bieber, if Cleveland wants to get some good, they had to trade one of the best MLB ready.
Which is why I brought up Ahmed Rosario. He has a year or two left on his contract, or a year and a half now.
Yeah.
He's been struggling a little bit, but maybe a fresh scene helps him out. Just like what happened when it came with him going from the Mets. And then the other thing is, think about it this way. If not him, Brian Rocchio. Cleveland has called him up and down so many times. He's only got 2 options left. At this point, he's not staying. It looks like trade him away. Because you have other prospects like Angel Martinez in their farm system they can deal with. And it looks like Tyler Freeman, who's batting like 386. And, I mean, Tyler Freeman's only played a few more games than Ahmed Rosario. So, I mean, like, for the way it's going right now, it looks like Tyler Freeman might be their everyday shortstop. And that's why I think you can maybe get rid of a guy like Ahmed Rosario or maybe a Brian Rocchio and figure out what to do with Rosario then. But, I mean, there's a lot that could happen with Bieber here.
So, I think you said the Baltimore Orioles.
I think that's the best.
Because they are the best prospect in the league right now.
Well, not only that, they'd give up 2 lower-end prospects and a guy who could play everyday outfield. And I believe Austin Hayes is on another 2-year deal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let me look that up real quick.
Well, Baltimore Orioles, I think they will make a trade in the trade deadline to make it better to be the Rays and the Yankees. I think they have 3 games left or 4 games left against the Yankees. I don't know if they played Tampa Bay as of yet. I think they did already. But, man, to beat Tampa Bay right now, they are tough. They are extremely tough. But we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so looking at the contract, Santander is a 28-year-old. He has 1 year, $7.4 million contract, where Austin Hayes he's 27, same age.
Yeah.
But he's 1 year, $3.2 million. I think Cleveland will take that to give another outfielder time. Maybe it's like a throwaway contract, but then they'll get their 2 prospects that they really like out of it. Cleveland loves hoarding prospects.
Right now.
They need a power bat in the outfield, and that's what they have right there, Austin Hayes. And Hayes is batting .301 on the year. He's not super big on power. He has 6 home runs, he has 2 stolen bases, he has 58 hits, and he has 24 RBIs. But he also draws 13 walks so far this year. So he's kind of a hybrid guy. He also plays good defense as well, but he's batting .301.
The question is,
yes,
if the Orioles might make the trade for Mullins, like with Mullins in there and Hayes all together.
No, they won't give up both.
No, I know. But I'm just saying, with the push for the playoffs for the first time, I don't know since when.
Yeah.
Do you think the Orioles will do that?
That's going to be a good question. I mean, I don't. For an expiring contract to get a guy who still has a year left on his deal as a starting pitcher, they could use the guy like Shane Bieber, a Cy Young winner.
I know the Orioles, maybe they need one.
And that's why I think.
Pitcher.
And he's young. He's 27.
Yeah.
Bieber's young. Or 20.
But I can see the Orioles made a trade, or maybe don't be surprised the Dodgers want to jump in.
Now you brought up Dodgers. I had one more team on there that you might not have thought of. Arizona Diamondbacks.
Oh, yeah.
They have prospects. They have guys in the outfield. Here's another thing. Bieber, Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly. Huh. Talk about the triple heading. Like, that's a triple header right there. That's a triple headed dragon. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. So you think so? They talking about it because I hear some rumors on Facebook and Reels, Twitter. They talk about that Shane Bieber be traded this trade deadline.
A lot of executives believe it, and usually when that is the case, that usually tends to be the thing. They were like, "Oh, Cleveland's talking about trading either Plesac or Clevenger." What happened? They traded away Clevenger, expiring contract. The same thing with Corey Kluber. The same thing with Trevor Bauer. Every time rumors come out with pitching, it's usually true.
Yeah. And also, I think the A's.
Oh, boy. Las Vegas or Oakland?
Oakland.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They're going to make a trade, too. Of course.
Who are they trading away now? Ramon Laureano, huh?
Yeah.
To me, he's just a slightly better version hitting-wise than Miles Straw. Yeah. His defense is impeccable, but maybe they trade him to Baltimore when they give up Austin Hayes. Give him to Baltimore, and when Baltimore gives up Austin Hayes and gets Bieber, that'd be good.
And then the Yankees. The Yankees need a freaking closer. They need a closer.
How's your farm system looking for those?
Decent.
You might need to pull somebody up. I don't think there's going to be a closer that's available this year for you guys.
They need a closer so bad.
Their best bet would have been getting Josh Hader last year or 2 years ago. Yeah, that would have been your best bet. I don't think there's a closer out there that would get traded unless, and I doubt it would happen because the Yankees would have to give up so much more because it's an division rival.
Yeah.
Felix Bautista from the Orioles because they
no,
have that
but
other.
The Orioles are not going to do it.
But they have 2 flamethrowers. That's the thing. So if they did that trade, they'd have to give up a lot.
Or maybe the Edwin Diaz brother from Cincinnati, but they're gonna cost the Yankees a lot of prospects. And he's doing
Cincinnati
good.
plays hardball when it comes to trading away
anyone. Of
anyone.
course, look at what they did with Luis Castillo to Seattle.
Look at what they did with Johnny Cueto. Look at what they did with Todd Frazier when they traded him to the Mets a couple of years ago. Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah.
They play hardball, and you know what? It's funny you bring that up. Cincinnati and Cleveland, they just tend to win trades. They do.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying those players went out and they, blah, blah, blah. But they have players that are good, and they have players that are coming up. And I'd expect Cincinnati to be competing in probably the next 3 to 4 years.
Yankees call their Pirates.
You want Bednar? Why don't you just call the Rockies? Get Bird.
Maybe
get Daniel Bard. Daniel Bard.
We need a closer. Yankees rotation. I'm not looking for offense. I think the offense is the same like last year, but it's got a little bit better.
Yeah.
Donaldson is doing good to come back from the IL. Got 2 home runs. He plays decent. I think we need some closer because the bullpen is the best in the league right now.
Yeah.
The bullpen is the best. But we don't have a freaking closer. At the league closer.
Yeah.
Holmes is not your closer.
Wandy Peralta can't do it either.
Wandy Peralta is not your closer, even he's good. Marinaccio is not your closer.
No. So figure it out.
Michael King could be a candidate, but I don't want to put as a closer. I want to be the setup man.
Okay.
Hey, Michael King is doing that slider is so freaking good. Well, against the Dodgers the other day, oh my God, got 2 runners in the corner, third and second. It was
first and third. You mean?
No, it wasn't second and third. I'm sorry.
So that's not corners then. But go ahead. Yes.
Third and second. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
So Michael King was at no outs. I think it was 5-1. My bad, 5-1. So they scored 1 run.
Yeah.
But after that,
closed
3
it down.
outs.
Yeah.
3 strikeouts.
Yeah, he needs to stay your setup man for sure. For sure.
Yeah. So we'll see what's gonna happen, but we need a closer. I don't know who's gonna do us a favor, but it's not gonna take easy to get a closer.
All right. Well, I will end it with this real quick. There's a lot obviously going on. We're gonna have more news coming. Hopefully, DeAndre Hopkins signs tomorrow. We can go ahead and go from there. Obviously, you think it's Cleveland. I think it's Kansas City. I hope it's Cleveland. I doubt it's gonna be Cleveland though.
And by the way, we got some breaking news.
Oh boy, what is it?
So NFL is doing an investigation to the Colts. Somebody's gambling once again, but it's unnamed from the Colts team. So
you better hope to God it ain't Jonathan Taylor.
Better
hope, or Michael Pittman. You don't want either one of those guys being a part of that.
Come on, guys. You know the rules. Why you keep doing it?
Well, we're going to drop our Twitter link here in just a second. Drop that actually right now. And then I will say this. Going to Colorado, I did see the Mets play the Rockies. Rockies ended up winning that game 11-10. Good ballpark. Beautiful view. It looked amazing. We're actually in the works of possibly going to PNC in July.
Yeah.
So we'll keep up with that. Obviously, if you made it this far, we really appreciate you. People that listen to it all the way through goes a long way. I know sometimes these get long. We do appreciate it. It goes a long way for us. Make sure you like and subscribe if you did make it this far. And, maybe we'll be able to do something for PNC. We'll see.
We'll see.
But anything else you want to add before we head out?
DeAndre Hopkins, just thinking, come to Cleveland. We need you.
You think he'll listen to our podcast?
Oh, if we listen to the podcast in the future, maybe.
Maybe
if we listen to the podcast and Deshaun Watson, you hear us, Like,
that's a touchy subject about him joining us, but still, I get where you're going with that. You know, it'd be cool to have that, but
yeah, that would be awesome. Like John Boy.
Yeah.
John Boy's doing a good job with the podcast.
yeah, hopefully we can get that far as well. But again, dropping our link. You know, make sure it's on our. It should be already on the screen. So make sure you follow us, like, subscribe. It goes a long way. Other than that, we will see you guys next week.
We'll see you guys next week.
Take care.